This is CBS 2 News at 11.
We will have literally nothing left to give as of Friday.
A dire warning from Mayor de Blasio. New York City's vaccines in such short supply, they won't even last until the end of the week.
But first, the end of the Trump era. Tonight, the president's final message to the nation as President-elect Biden arrives in Washington with a somber tone, marking the more than 400,000 American lives lost to coronavirus. Good evening. I'm Maurice DuBois.
And I'm Kristine Johnson. The 45th president of the United States is spending his final hours in office. Right now, some live pictures of the White House where Mr. Trump and the First Lady are expected to depart at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
And now to the U.S. Capitol and a national mall that would normally be packed with people, but filled with flags instead tonight as we deal with the pandemic and the unprecedented security crackdown.
And it will be just 13 hours from now that Joseph Robinette Biden will be sworn in as the 46th president of the United States.
CBS 2's Dick Brennan here now with more for us. Dick.
And there is more happening right now. As a matter of fact, one last drama at the White House as we speak. President Trump expected to issue somewhere between 50 and 100 pardons, but so far, nothing yet from the White House. They could come at any moment. President-elect Biden, in the meantime, is preparing to take over the nation.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
President-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Harris at the Lincoln Memorial honoring the 400,000 Americans lost to COVID. 400 8-foot-tall lights lit the reflecting pool.
Tonight, we grieve and begin healing.
Mr. Biden is now just hours away from becoming the nation's 46th president. Tomorrow, there'll be Mass in the morning at the Cathedral of St. Matthew the Apostle. Then it's off to the Capitol. Mr. Biden will be sworn in by Justice John Roberts, Ms. Harris by Sonia Sotomayor. Lady Gaga will sing the national anthem, and there'll be performances by Jennifer Lopez and Garth Brooks. With the inaugural balls canceled, in the evening, Bruce Springsteen will headline a primetime event. This afternoon, Mr. Biden gave a tear-filled speech as he left his home state of Delaware.
Well, excuse the emotion, but when I die, Delaware will be written on my heart.
As the president-elect came to Washington, President Trump was saying goodbye.
The movement we started is only just beginning.
He didn't mention his successor by name in his farewell address, though he wished the next administration well and talked about the Capitol attacks.
Political violence is an attack on everything we cherish as Americans. It can never be tolerated.
But the Senate Majority Leader blamed the president.
The mob was fed lies. They were provoked by the president and other powerful people.
In his first interview since leaving the administration, former Attorney General William Barr said the president's questioning of the election's legitimacy also helped prompt violence.
I think that was the thing that precipitated the riots on the Hill.
In his inaugural address, Mr. Biden is expected to reach out to Trump's supporters, preaching unity and a positive message in the midst of a pandemic, an echo we heard from him tonight.
To heal, we must remember. It's hard sometimes to remember, but that's how we heal.
Now, Mr. Trump will head to Florida in the morning. Mike Pence will not attend the president's send-off ceremony at Joint Base Andrews, but will instead go to the inaugural. He'll be joined by former Presidents Obama, Bush, and Clinton. The oldest living president, 96-year-old Jimmy Carter, will stay at home in Georgia. Maurice and Kristine.
Okay, Dick, thank you. Here at home, from the Empire State Building to One World Trade and City Hall. Tonight, the Manhattan skyline turned into a tribute in lights in remembrance of the more than 400,000 American lives lost to the pandemic. On this date last year, the first case in the country had yet to even be confirmed. And Manhattan, far from the only place remembering lives lost to COVID.
Buildings illuminated and bells rang across the tri-state area and all over the U.S. tonight. CBS 2's Jessica Layton reports now on the profound sense of loss in Jersey City.
COVID took the strongest man I've ever known. Within a week's time, Holding their loved ones in their hand and their heart, family members mourned at the steps of City Hall in Jersey City.
My father spent the last week of his life in a hospital 3 blocks away from us, and we couldn't be with him.
When Sabila Khan's father passed away, she didn't even get to say goodbye. Being with those who understand COVID grief is therapeutic.
Remember the faces behind the numbers, to remember that they had names, they had lives, they loved, they had families that they've now left behind. That's what I want the country to remember.
This event, part of the national moment of unity and remembrance. At the National Cathedral in Washington, funeral bells rang out 400 times. White flags went up outside a museum in Missouri, and there were candlelit moments of silence in Chicago. In New York, the Empire State Building was shining bright, and at the Statue of Liberty, Mayor de Blasio spoke about the tragedy endured by New York City, while warning earlier the city is on track to run out of vaccines this Thursday.
We will have literally nothing left to give as of Friday.
If the Biden administration okays Governor Cuomo's request to buy supplies directly from Pfizer, Rockland County Executive Ed Day wants a guarantee that more doses will go to his county.
The fact of the matter is Rockland County is woefully being shorted.
Right now, Rockland County is out of vaccine with no answers as to when the next shipment is coming from Albany.
This is bureaucratic arrogance. It's pathetic and it's sad.
Nearly a quarter of the 400,000 Americans who've died of COVID passed away in the last month. A sobering reminder as we wait for the vaccine to get to more people. In Jersey City, Jessica Layton, CBS 2 News.
Several National Guard members have been pulled from protecting the inauguration amid fears the extremists are trying to blend in.
And so far, at least 100 people have now been charged since the assault on the Capitol, including several from our area who appeared in court today. CBS 2's Bauman reports.
Retired FDNY firefighter Thomas Fee left federal court on Long Island Tuesday on $100,000 bond. The Freeport resident allegedly sent selfies from inside the Capitol during the riot to his girlfriend's brother, who happens to be a federal agent, and turned him in. In Ridgewood, Queens, the FBI and NYPD searched the home of Brendan Hunt. The 37-year-old man was not at the Capitol, but prosecutors allege 2 days after the riot, Hunt posted a video titled "Kill Your Senators," in which he said, "What you need to do is take up arms, get to D.C., probably the inauguration. If anybody has a gun, give it to me. I'll go there myself and shoot them and kill them."
He never caused any trouble. You know, we have noisier neighbors than him. He's always quiet.
Hunt is an assistant court analyst for the New York State Office of Court Administration. As a result of his arrest, he's been suspended without pay, according to a court spokesman, pending further administrative action. Also in court Tuesday, Nicholas Moncada of Staten Island, released on $250,000 bond. Moncada is a student at the Fashion Institute of Technology, where his peers alerted the feds of his social media posts. Edward Lang of Newburgh faced a judge in Westchester, and Army reservist Timothy Hale Cusinelli was arraigned in New Jersey. The 30-year-old from Colts Neck allegedly recorded himself admitting to entering the Capitol riot and encouraging other members of the mob to advance, giving directions via both voice and hand signals. Hale Cusinelli works as a Navy contractor with a secret security clearance and is described by the anonymous tipster who turned him in as an avowed white supremacist and Nazi sympathizer.
We have seen friends, family members, coworkers, and others reporting information to us.
In D.C., 12 National Guard members were removed from inauguration security as the FBI vets all troops deployed there, concerned about potential extremists posing as Guard members. Bauman, CBS 2 News.
And a private in the U.S. Army facing terrorism charges, accused of plotting to bomb New York City's 9/11 memorial and other landmarks. Manhattan federal prosecutors say 20-year-old Cole Bridges, also known online as Cole Gonzalez, was arrested today in Georgia. He's also charged with providing support to ISIS to attack American soldiers in the Middle East. Bridges was caught after communicating with an undercover FBI agent.
And this update now in a breaking story we brought you last night. A Martin Luther King Day march in the city took a turn when demonstrators clashed with police near City Hall. Protesters say officers blocked them as they came off the Brooklyn Bridge. The NYPD says glass bottles were thrown at officers.
They started bringing in additional vehicles. They started kettling us and bringing more officers with zip ties.
Demonstration that consists of violence, throwing bottles. I think it's a disgrace.
The chaos coming after 2 Department of Investigation reports and the Attorney General questioning the NYPD's ability to handle protests. Commissioner Shea says police will look into whether any officers acted inappropriately. 11 officers were hurt and 28 protesters were arrested.
Still ahead right here at 11 tonight, a chance for snow showers for the morning commute. Lonnie Quinn standing by with the forecast.
Yeah, you betcha. I mean, as of right now, outside the skies aren't so bad, kind of partly clear, but the clouds are going to be increasing. They're going to fill in. It's 37 degrees right now. Those temps are going down, and look at that. The clouds that are coming in hold snow showers. What you're going to wake up to in the morning. I've got the forecast and some snowfall predictions after the break. Guys, back to you.
Okay, also ahead, still unsolved a year and a half later, what investigators were doing back on the property connected to a missing Connecticut mom. Plus,
sometimes I wake up, I see this man crouch in front of me.
Emotionally scarred and too scared to show her face, a victim of a random subway attack speaks to CBS 2 about the person who stepped in to help and also got injured.
And switching up the SAT, what you won't be seeing on the college entrance exams. It's next.